Hey everybody, Sponge Daddy here, your spirit of the hawk, along with the Sparrowhawk herself, Leslie Sparrowhawk McCullough. Say hi, Boo.
Hi.
About a month ago, I had something really bad happen, and I posted just a vague status saying I'd tell you all later. I've been wanting to do it on video, but I've been having a lot of technical issues. My tech is kind of, um, you know, not the greatest, but I make the most of it anyway. And my typing skills have gone downhill, and frankly, I've just been kind of too upset about the whole situation to go into it. But I figured I owed y'all an explanation. This video is going to be kind of in 3 parts. You'll see why. All right, first I have to educate you all a little bit, because a lot of people think that when you're on disability you get all of your health care for free, and that's not true. So here's how this works, Leslie. That's the first one. Okay. Here, I'll hand you the first one. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now hold it up so the camera can see it. Right. Okay. See, that says SSDI. Now, there's 2 types of disability. Your disability income is based upon what you earn. Okay. How many work credits you earn in a certain period of time, and depending on how much you work, your pension will be a certain amount. Now, if it's above $790, you get what is called SSDI, or Social Security Disability Insurance. Okay, that is different. It's very similar to regular Social Security in the way it works. Okay. Now, if your income, you didn't work very much for one reason or another, you don't have enough work credits, then you qualify for what's called SSI. Okay? And that stands for Supplemental Security Income. Now, SSDI, is the first one, is run by the federal government. SSI is run by the state. And what it does is, if your disability income isn't enough, it brings you up to about, in Kentucky, it's $790. Okay? Now, that's the difference between SSI and SSDI. A lot of people call, you're so cute. A lot of people they think disability is SSI, and it's not. There's 2 types, SSDI and SSI. Now, if you have SSDI, the regular, the one that's like Medicare, that's like regular retirement Social Security, you get what is called Medicare, just like old people get, just like retired people get, okay? Medicare, A-R-E. Now, that is for seniors and the disabled that get SSDI, okay? Medicare. Now, if you get SSI, which is run by the state, you get Medicaid, all right? Medicaid, and that is a state-run program. Now, here's the rub. If you get SSDI, you get the regular Medicare. You get A, for free, which covers some of your hospital expenses with a copay and stuff. Then there's Part B, where you can get to help cover your outpatient stuff. Not necessarily doctor's visits, but like outpatient tests and things like that. And then there's also Part D, which is drugs, and then there's Advantage and supplements, okay, that you can get. But the thing is, with Medicare, the one that goes with extra, the one that goes with regular SSD, you have deductibles, copays, and it just kind of works like regular insurance, okay? You got to pay a lot. Now, if you have SSI, because you didn't work much, and your disability is not much, you get Medicaid, okay? And Medicaid, pretty much everything is free. As far as medicines, testing, procedures, no deductibles, nothing. Okay, now, I'm going to go on to part 3 of my explanation here. Y'all remember when the Affordable Care Act, also called Obamacare, came out, it expanded Medicaid for the poor. Any poor person who had a low income. Now, I want you to understand, I don't have anything against anyone that has gotten Medicaid. I do not. All right? I'm glad some people, the poor people, are getting the help they need. All right? Now, I have to give you all a little explanation of my own history, just so you understand why I'm in the situation I'm in. When I was in college pursuing my degree, I worked 60 hours a week at a job. Okay. And then I had a good career for about 9 months, and then my intestines burst open, and I had to have emergency surgery. Um, my original period of disability, I did not have enough work credits, so my SSD, or my disability income, was so low, I got SSI and Medicaid, which covered all my expenses from that emergency surgery and stuff. But within about a year and a half, I was hungry to go back to work again. Nobody told me I had to go back to work. Government didn't. I wanted to because I enjoy working. I love being a taxpayer, and I hated then, and I still hate being on the dole. And I was able to work a few more years before I got sick again and had to be cut again. And also my mental illness came out, and a suicide attempt, a few things. So I ended up having to go back on disability for the second time. And then I worked. I ended up going back to work on my own again, and I worked 2 jobs this time. Two this many. I guess for you Brits, I better do it like this, or you'll think I'm giving you a rude gesture. But I went back to work a third time, and I worked 2 jobs to support my family, my children, and my new wife. And then I got sick again and had to go on disability the third time. Okay, and meanwhile I'm having surgeries. I'm averaging 1 surgery a year. All right. And finally I went back to work again on my own. Nobody told me I had to. It was my choice. Worked 2 jobs again, and within a few weeks I ended up having to go back in the hospital, and the doctor just flat out told me, if you don't retire, you're going to die. Period. Because my body just couldn't handle it. And I remember sitting in his office that day and weeping because, I had valued so much of my self-identity on my ability to do things, and all of a sudden that was taken away. And so I had to go back on disability for the fourth and final time. Now here's the rub. Remember I told you the first period of disability, my stuff was so low, I got SSI and I got Medicaid, so my stuff was paid for. Well, by going back to work all those times, I increased my work credits. I increased my work credits, so now I got SSDI, which gives me Medicare, which I have to pay like $150 for Part B, and pay an Advantage, okay? And I have insane co-payments. All right. Now, if I'd stayed on disability and never gone back to work because nobody told me I had to, I would have everything free right now. There's treatments I need that cost about $8,000 every 8 weeks. Medicare doesn't pay enough of them for me to afford it. My share of it would be $2,000 every 8 weeks, okay? So that's just an insane amount. I mean, when your Social Security income is only $970, I mean, you certainly can't afford that if you want to eat and survive and all those other things, not counting all the other 19 medicines I have to buy. But here's what upset me so bad. I've been having a lot of problems, as y'all know, and I've had to have a lot of tests. I've had to have a lot of tests done, and my doctor's ordered quite a few of them, like an endoscopy, colonoscopy. I have to have an ultrasound, 2 ultrasounds, one of my liver and one of my prostate, and then I have to have a CAT scan and then an upper GI with a small bowel follow-through. And each of these has its own set copay because I have Medicare Advantage. All right. Now the colonoscopy mostly was paid for because it's preventative. Medicare paid for that 100%. Endoscopy I had to pay a portion of. And he had ordered one of the other tests at the same time, and they told me my total, and they told me that unless I paid something on it, they were going to cancel the procedure. So I paid what I had. I had my flat tire money, as I call it. It's tucked in my wallet for those roadside emergencies. And I paid what I could, but because I only was able to afford to pay for one test, they canceled the other one. So the doctor's office tried to reschedule it with a place in Paducah, and when I told them I couldn't pay, they wanted $180 up front. They wouldn't do it. So here's the situation I'm in. I've got to have all of these tests that I have to pay for in advance, or they will not do these tests. And frankly, some of this could be important because I've got something seriously wrong with my liver, and I know I have to have at least 1 surgery on my intestines. I have to have surgery on my broken nose, and I have to have some polyps removed from my colon. But again, I have to pay for all of this ahead of time, and I just can't. And I was so angry. So thank you, Jackson Purchase Medical Center. Because you know what, folks? I guarantee you there's other people just like me in the same situation, but maybe they have something wrong and there might be a small tumor. But because they can't afford the copay, they don't get the test they need. Alright? So they put it off. And next thing you know, it's stage 4 cancer, and it's too late. And what's going to end up happening with me is I'm going to end up getting so sick I have to be admitted to the hospital, which would be taken care of by Part A, and cause a whole bunch of other problems. Leslie? Okay. So that's what I'm up against. So I hate to do this, but I have to, I want to say thank you to Jackson Purchase Medical Center for putting profits ahead of patients. You know, we're only talking a couple $100 for each test. It's not gonna, I'm going to break your bank, okay? And I want to thank you, Lumberg Imaging of Paducah, for being the same damn way. Our medical system is killing folks, people like me. That's just flat out. So I hate to say this and I hate to ask, but I have to do this as a fundraiser. There'll be links below to the Facebook fundraiser here on this YouTube thing, and I'll post this to Facebook also. Again, I hate to do this, but I do not have a choice, folks. I've got to have these tests. I've got to raise probably at least $1,000. I don't know what it's going to cost for the nose job. I'm sure there's a hefty copay there, just like there was for my cataracts. So that's what I'm up against, and frankly I need your help. I hate to be a quote sponge, you know. But here's what makes me so angry, folks. We're told in this country that if you work hard, you know, and you push yourself, get an education, you'll be all right. Well, I did all that, but because I have 5 diseases, not that I caused myself, but just because by bad genetics, I've pretty much got a death sentence right now. Thanks a lot, Medicare. Now, what really upsets me is one time I tried to go get a waiver for these treatments, and I was behind a guy in line, and he was applying for Obamacare. He just got out of prison for car theft. So he had 0 income, but because of the Medicaid expansion, he was going to get everything for free. And here I am. Why did I work 60 hours a week in college? Why did I keep going back to work? The system is wrong, folks. It's so screwed up. We are punishing those who work harder and making it easier for those that didn't do anything. Well, I worked hard, folks. And frankly now, once again, I have to ask for your help. I love you, Leslie. And Sparrowhawk says she wants some help too. Say thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Alright, well that's it, folks. I hope this video is acceptable. I apologize for the quality. We did as we could, but I really wanted Leslie in here so you'll see how cute and adorable the little Sparrowhawk has become. Isn't she cute? Blink, blink. But anyway, I'm trying to stay positive about all this and trust my Creator that it'll work out okay. I got a lot more to teach Leslie before I pass on to the unseen world, so I want to stick around for you guys for a while too. So anyway, remember, bad times are inevitable, misery is optional. Just refuse to be miserable and soar above the ordinary with me, your spirit of the hawk. Elia Kuntu Wakana. Many blessings and be well, Leslie.